Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining me in this section of this program. Welcome once again. Today we'll be discussing how to have sex and have a male child, understanding X and Y chromosome. Yes, I want us to know that it is God that determines the sex of a child. Actually, it is God that says amen to whatever gender we desire to have. But as human beings, based on the knowledge that God has given to us, we can predict and we can work towards having a particular gender, and based on knowledge, God can accept it and say yes to it. So even as we'll be discussing, let us believe that all these things have been determined by God. However, we will not say we are ignorant of it. Yes, I want us to know that we have two types of chromosomes that are known as sex chromosomes. Yes, all other chromosomes are autosomes. Those ones, they are not related to sex or reproduction in human being. But the two kinds of chromosome that are sex chromosome or that are connected with reproduction are known as sex chromosome. And chromosome is different from hormones. Hormones are just chemical substances. Those ones are different. But chromosome now are those ones that are involved in reproduction that determines the gender of a child. Yes, we have X and Y chromosome. Yes, and for a child to be formed, we need two types of chromosome that will determine the formation of a child and the gender of a child. Yes, we have XX. When we have XX chromosome coming together, it will give us a female child. But when we have XY, it will give us a male child. So X chromosome determines a female child, Y chromosome determines a male child. However, a woman does not have Y chromosome. The chromosome that a woman has is XX. A woman has XX chromosome, while a man has XY chromosome, meaning that the gender of a child depends on the man. It depends on the man. So because the woman initially does not even have a Y chromosome that will make up a male child. So during copulation, during intercourse now, if it is the X chromosome from the man that was able to fertilize the egg of a woman, that means that the woman will conceive and that child will be a female child. But if it is Y chromosome that the man donates to the woman, that Y will mix with one of the X from the woman and the child will be a male child. However, both of these chromosomes, both the X and Y chromosome, they have different characteristics. They have different features that make them up, and they have different ways of swimming to meet the egg. So that is what we are looking into, and that is what makes it possible for us to be able to determine the sex of a child if truly we want to work towards it as a couple. So here I said a woman has X and X chromosome, which we have talked about that. Now let us look at the characteristics of X chromosome, which is the female chromosome. Don't let us forget that during ejaculation, equal amount of both X and Y chromosome will be released into the body of the woman. Just that we have a lot of women than men. The percentage or the ratio of women to men is so much that, in fact, population census sometimes ago, we were told that it is 1:6, 1:7. We don't know how true that is. But even if we ourselves, if we look around, we see that we have more male than female. Yes. It is not that God is biased. God is not biased, because the semen that a man will release to the body of the woman is equal amount of X and Y chromosome that is there. However, these two chromosomes, they have different ability, and that is why we have a lot of women than men. For example, let us look at the X chromosome now. The X chromosome is larger and it is stronger. Is larger in size, it is stronger, and also it swims so slowly. It swims slowly and it takes a longer time to die, and it is more stable than the Y chromosome. So X chromosome is bigger and it swims so slow. When sperm cell is being released to the body of a woman, the sperm will have to swim and swim and swim and go to where the egg is. Once it gets fertilized now, the first one, millions of sperm cells are being released during each ejaculation, but it is just only one that will fertilize the egg. So the ones that move so faster to the extent of getting to the egg before all other ones will be the one to fertilize that egg. So it's very important for us to know this. So the X chromosome, we said, is bigger, it swims so slowly, and it dies so slowly, and it swims faster, is even more stable. Yes, it's stable in acidic pH. When the pH of the body of the woman is acidic, it is acidic medium that this X chromosome love the most. Yes. So then Y chromosome, which is the male chromosome, the chromosome that determines a male child, is known as the Y chromosome. Now let us look at the characteristics. The Y chromosome is small in size. It's small in size. It swims faster. It has a short lifespan, and it is more stable in alkaline medium. We can see the word and opposite. We can see the discrepancy between the two. Y chromosome, which is the chromosome we are interested in this afternoon, it swims so fast, so faster, it's tiny, it is stable in alkaline medium. Please, as you are joining me, help me and press like and love, and also help and share this program for other people to be able to learn from it. So having seen the discrepancy, Mr. Miss Ebenezer Grace, thank you for joining me, ma. Having seen the discrepancy between the X and Y chromosome, now let us look at the woman. We have said to ourselves that a woman does not have Y chromosome. The woman only has X chromosome, which is XX. It is one of the X that she will donate, plus either of the two that the man will donate, either X and Y, that will now fertilize and give us the gender of a child. Now, how can we now try to work towards having a male child? Having understand this, yes, for the woman to have a male child, you can trap your ovulation time. Look for the time, calculate your ovulation period, calculate your ovulation day. Don't let us forget that you cannot even get pregnant without ovulation. For a woman to get pregnant, that woman will ovulate. Ovulation means the release of egg from the ovary. When you release your egg, that is the time that you have ovulated. So at the time of ovulation now, the vaginal fluid is alkaline. Is alkaline at that particular time. And don't forget that alkaline medium favors Y chromosome. It makes the Y chromosome to swim so faster in order to meet the egg before the X chromosome that swims so slowly. So for a male child to be formed, the Y chromosome has to get to the egg first. That is what forms all the male children that we are seeing around. But for a female child to be formed, the X chromosome from the man has to get to the egg before the Y chromosome. So there is no magic through it. That is what happens. Now, as a woman, you need to find out your ovulation time. Because at ovulation, the vaginal fluid is alkaline. And don't forget that Y chromosome is very stable in alkaline medium and swims faster in the medium. Now, as a woman, how do you now calculate your ovulation day for you to be able to trap the time that you have the chances to either get pregnant or have a male child? Your ovulation day is 14 days to your period. Let us assume that today is first. Today is not first actually, but just an assumption. Let us assume that today is first and you saw your period today. You will now say 1 plus 14. Your ovulation day will now be on the 15th of the month. Meaning that 14 days from the day of the blood stain, that is the day that you will ovulate. That is the day that your ovary, your body will release egg, waiting for sperm cell to fertilize it. So when you calculate your ovulation period, if as a woman you are not even so, maybe you are so busy that you really don't have time to find out your ovulation date or to calculate it, there are other signs that a woman will know that truly she's now menstruating. For example, there is always a whitish discharge. We call it cervical mucus. It's like a whitish discharge from the vagina. You'll be able to see that is a sign of ovulation. Then there is increase in temperature. Miss Ojewande Deborah Depeju, thank you for joining me, ma. You understand? You will see there is increase in temperature. Then there is increased sex urge. There is increased sex urge. Then there is weakness. If as a woman you are not that sensitive enough, maybe you are so busy, people who are so busy, they might not be able to notice all this from their body, but it do happen. Once a woman is ovulating, there is always increase in sex urge. For singles who are not ready to go into sex, they want to keep themselves for the Lord, at that particular time you are vulnerable. You have to keep yourself away from man, because at the time that you are ovulating as a single, you have the tendency to easily fall, because you just release egg and your body will desire to have sex at that particular time, because you are in your heat period, your ovulation period. Then another sign of ovulation is increase in temperature. Then there is always discharge of egg white material, we call it mucus, from the body. Or if you cannot do that, you can just add 14 days to the day that you saw your blood. Today is 3rd. Today is 3rd of April. Yes, if today is the day you saw your blood, you saw your period, you will now say 14 plus 3, that will give you 17. That means your ovulation day is on the 17th for people who are running 28 days. But for those who are running 30 days, their ovulation will be the 15th date to the day they saw their period. So at that particular time, when you are ovulating like that, you have finished your period, there's some days later, you know that when you are counting ovulation, you will count the 4 days for that blood flow. If you saw your period today will be your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe 5 days you finish your period, then you can't see 7, 8, up to 14. The date on that 14 is your ovulation day. At that particular day, apart from the fact that you have increased sex urge, your vaginal fluid, the body fluid at that time is alkaline. So if you try to have sex on the day of your ovulation, there is 95% tendency that you will have a male child. Why? Because the Y chromosome that will fertilize your egg to give you a male child loves alkaline medium. It swims better in alkaline region, and it swims faster than even X chromosome. So at that particular time, it's very easy when you meet your husband release semen inside you. You discover that the Y chromosome swims faster. It's just like when people are giving track, when they need to run a race. On your mark, set, go. As they go now, the person that start running first, that puts the whole of his energy to run first, will either be the first to get to the finish line and will be the first to get tired. So one thing that happens to Y chromosome is that it swims faster and it gets tired faster than the X chromosome that swims so slowly. So now imagine that you are now ovulating, you have released your egg, waiting for fertilization, and your vaginal fluid is alkaline. Y chromosome is always loves to swim in alkaline medium. By the time you meet your husband, everything will go straight. The Y chromosome will be the one to swim faster and get to the egg first, and it is the one that gets to the egg first that will fertilize your egg. So that is the first thing to do to have, if you want to trap the sex, you want to determine the sex of your child, to have a male child. Make sure that you meet your husband on that very day that you ovulate rather. Then another thing is that do a sex position that allow deep penetration. What do we mean by this? There are sex positions that allow penetration to be deep, especially for those whose husband has, if your man is having a very big penis, or those who have, even there is no size of penis that cannot achieve deep penetration. What deep penetration does is that it makes the sperm cell to be released very close to where the egg is. For example, if you are giving a race, if you are running a race now, and the finish line is close to you, you know that it will be easy for you to get there so quickly. So if you practice sex position that allow deep penetration, meaning that the sperm cell will be released not at the entrance of the vagina, it will be released very close to where the egg is. And once that one is achieved, the chromosome will only need little stress to swim. And don't forget that Y swim faster than X. So there is all the possibility that Y will eat that egg before X. And what are the positions that can give you deep penetration? Doggy style is a style that whereby the man will enter through the rear entry. You can Google it for you to know more about doggy style. It allows deep penetration, and once there is deep penetration, the sperm cell will be released very close to where your egg is, and the Y chromosome that swim faster will get fertilized first. Then another thing is female orgasm. As a woman, when you are copulating and you desire to have a male child, make sure that you release before your husband. Make sure that as a woman you get to your orgasm before your husband. Why? Orgasm will increase the alkaline level of your vagina. It will increase the alkaline, make you the vaginal fluid to be more alkaline. So once the vaginal fluid is more alkaline and you have already orgasm, you have released before your man, by the time your man now release, the chromosome in the sperm he released to you, the Y chromosome that swim better in alkaline region will be favored. It will favor the swimming of this Y chromosome. It will hasten the way the Y will swim. Don't forget that we are interested in the Y chromosome for a male child, and this Y swim faster. So when you orgasm before your man, meaning that your body, your fluid has been prepared, ready for the Y chromosome, because X chromosome, don't forget, we said that X chromosome swims best in acidic medium. It is the Y chromosome that swims best in alkaline medium. So when you the female orgasm helps the Y chromosome to get to the egg first. Why? Because the female orgasm release alkaline fluid to the vagina, to the body system of the woman. So the alkaline region helps the Y chromosome to swim faster. And so once it gets to the egg, it gets fertilized. All other ones will go back, because it is the one that eats the egg first that will fertilize the egg. So female orgasm also help a male in having a male child. However, if it is female child you want, trap your orgasm as a woman. Trap your orgasm and make sure that you didn't orgasm before your man. Let your husband release before you release. It's possible. You can trap it in such a way that your man releases before you. It's possible that the X will get to the egg before Y. But here we are interested in the Y chromosome, because we are saying how to have sex and have a male child. Make sure that you orgasm as a woman before your man. If you orgasm before him, meaning that you release before him, so it's possible for you. It will make your body, to make your vaginal fluid to be alkaline. Once it is alkaline like that, then it will make the Y chromosome, it will favor the swimming of the Y chromosome. Don't forget that we have explained on our platform the structure of the sperm cell, that it looks like a lizard. It has head, neck, and tail, and it is the egg the head that contains the DNA that will fertilize the egg. And God is so great that the one that gets to add upon all the millions of sperm cells that is released, it is just one single one, and that one that gets to the egg first is the one that will fertilize that egg. Once the egg gets fertilized, all other ones is just good for the body, to make the woman body shine, to make her look fresh and all of that. But the one that will get her pregnant has gotten to the correct side. Then another way to have to make the Y chromosome get to your egg first is standing up position. Standing up position, since it is a male against gravity. Against gravity to reach the finish line. That is, standing position allows the Y chromosome to get to the finish line, which is the egg first. But the doggy style is more preferable. It's more preferable. Then diet of the man can also determine how viable the sperm cell of a man will be. What do we mean by diet? The man should eat food that is rich in potassium. And food that are rich in potassium is banana, apple. So study reveals that a diet high in potassium and sodium favor conception of a boy. Yes, it is very real. In fact, when we were talking about components of sperm cell, potassium is one of the active ingredients of sperm cell. For a man who is healthy, for a man who is strong, his sperm cell will contain high amount of potassium and sodium. So for a man to produce healthy sperm cell, that man should eat potassium-rich fruits like banana, apple, cucumber. All those fruits, they increase the potassium content of the sperm and make a man to produce. Don't forget that sperm cell have the ability to stay in the body of a woman for 5 days. Please, as you are joining me, help me like and love, and help me and share this program so that it will get to people, so that all of us will learn together. So I was trying to say that the sperm cell of a man can be active in a woman for 5 days. Though some research told us that 3 days, 4 days, but for us to widen the scope of our knowledge, and even if you go on Google, you do more research, you discover that there are some men that their sperm cell can be as active as 5 days in the body of their wife. But a man that releases sperm on the first of a particular month, if the wife does not ovulate in the next 5 days, if the wife does not ovulate in the next 5 days, it is possible that the sperm cell will no longer be active. For example, let us assume that your man releases inside you on the 1st of this month, and you now ovulate on the 5th. Even if the sperm cell inside that will remain inside you, if it is still active, all the Y chromosomes that are there will have been denatured. They will have been inactive. Because don't forget that Y chromosomes swim faster and get tired faster. The X chromosome that will stay and still be resilient and stay and wait for egg to come, that one will be the only one, the remnant of the one that will be active there will just be the X chromosome, which will give you a female child. That is why we are saying try to have sex on the day that you ovulate, so that your egg, as we get fertilized, immediately your man releases it inside you. For weekend couples, people who are weekend couples, whereby their husband will travel and come back weekend, you don't know, maybe the wife has not even ovulated. So let us assume that the husband now gives sperm to the wife on the first of this month now, and your wife will ovulate on the 6th. That sperm you gave her on the 1st cannot get her pregnant, because the egg that's supposed to fertilize it will come on the 6th. So all the sperms, all the X and Y chromosome in that sperm will have been denatured. That is why as a woman we have to calculate our ovulation and to be sure that when do we have the chances to get pregnant. The fact that today is your ovulation day does not necessarily mean that it's only today you can get pregnant. 1 day plus or minus 1 day to ovulation. If you are ovulating on the 3rd, on the 2nd, and on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th is your ovulation period. Apart from the ovulation day, a day before and a day after is also safe for a woman to get pregnant. Yes, because it's very possible. Even if your husband give you sperm today and you ovulate tomorrow, it's very possible for you to get pregnant. Just that all the Y chromosome there will have been tired, because when they came, the egg was not ready. So the chromosome that will now be ready by the time you ovulate will be the XXX. That's why we have more female than male, because the Y chromosome that will give us a male child does not have all this kind of rugged ability that the X chromosome has. So we have talked of trapping your ovulation day. Then we talked about practice sex position that allows deep penetration. We talk about female orgasm, that if you want a male child, try to orgasm before your man, so that your orgasm will make your vaginal fluid to be alkaline, to wet your vagina and make it to be alkaline before your husband release. And don't forget that alkaline region helps the Y chromosome. Then another thing is the diet, the food the man eats. Don't be eating eba every day, eba. Eat fruits. That what you feed your mouth with is what will go into your penis. So the woman should get fruit for the man, give him food that will be rich in potassium and sodium, that will help the quality of the sperm cell. Even though research told us that sperm can stay in the body for 5 days, that one is the sperm of an active man who is feeding well, not the one that be eating eba. Some people will not even eat. It will not help their the strength of their sperm cell. Then wear loose underwear is best for conceiving a boy. Yes, We already know that underwear, no, the underwear a man wears can affect sperm production. Yes, wear loose underwear. Don't be wearing boxer that will be so tight. Some will wear, thank God now that they are no more making all these nylon boxer with all this lycra material, chiffon. Those ones are not. Wear real cotton and let it be loose so that air will blow on the scrotum where the sperm cell is stored. The epididymis, the scrotum, and all the sex organ of the man, air will blow on it. You understand? If air blows on it, it will improve the quality of the sperm cell that the man will produce. Yes, it will improve the quality of the sperm cell that the man will produce. Loose underwear is the best for men. Is the best. Don't wear tight boxer, and don't wear one boxer for 3-4 days. You have to be neat. All these things, they favor the quality of sperm that a man will produce. Yes. So to increase the chances of having a male child, you should orgasm before your partner. We have said that one severally. So now, if a man has a high sperm count, then how to boost it? That one is another topic, how to boost the sperm count of a man. Get enough exercise, do exercise, get enough vitamin C, relax and minimize stress and all of that. So don't let us forget that all these things, it is God that says yes to it. But I want us to know that I am a female, it was X chromosome that was donated, that was able to fertilize the egg. You that you are a man, it was Y chromosome that fertilized the egg. Full stop. Then God has given us grace. All these things, when I put the awareness for this topic, I saw a lot of comments that people were saying it is God that determines the sex of a child. Yes, it is God, but God has given us wisdom. Why is it that people will go for in vitro fertilization, IVF, and it will work for them? It is science. All those people, they follow science. Apart from the natural way that God says we should be getting pregnant, people who maybe due to one reason or the other, they cannot get pregnant through that means, they can go for IVF if they can afford it, and it will work for them. Nobody will even know that the child was born through IVF because the child will be so strong and healthy. That is science. They follow science. So even we ourselves, many of us, we don't know these things. We cannot get pregnant without ovulation until our egg is released and it gets fertilized. It is the egg that does not get fertilized that will break and it will shed with the wall of the uterus. That is what we call menstruation. But if the egg gets fertilized, then pregnancy will come, menstruation will stop. All these things, there is no magic anywhere, there is no mystery, there is only ignorance. But if we are not ignorant of it, honestly, it will look like magic to us. Yes, if we are not ignorant, it will not look like magic. But if we are ignorant, it will look like a magic. So those are the ways. Don't wear tight underwear as a man. Tight underwear increases the temperature of scrotum, therefore reduces the number of sperm. So a man that's supposed to produce millions of sperm cells is now producing hundreds. You see that the surface area has reduced. So now, the one that we get to the egg self, the Y chromosome itself is not as rugged as X. It's not rugged. It swims faster. It gets tired faster. It's active in alkaline medium and so on. So once you subject this chromosome to too much heat, tight boxer and everything, the Y chromosome will die off. That's the reason why we have more female than male. God has created us and gave us all chances. It's 50-50. It is 50-50. The ability to the probability of having a male child is 50. That's why your female child is 50, because equal amount of X and Y chromosome are in one ejaculation. Is equal amounts. Just that the X chromosome that will form a female is so rugged that if your husband released inside you on the first and you didn't ovulate until the 4th, the 5th day, the sperm will still be active actually, but the remaining ones, the chromosome that will remain will be X. All the Y chromosome, they will have been denatured, because Y chromosome is not that strong to wait for a long period of time. That's why we are saying trap your ovulation. Even though the Y chromosome is not rugged, it's also faster than X, and because it swims faster, it will get tired faster. It is logical. If two people are to run a race, the person that starts with full energy will get tired first. And so that is what happened. You can Google to know more of it. You can ask the medical practitioner. Personally, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm just a researcher. But you can read more. We are learning every day. And as we learn every day, we widen the scope of our knowledge. Yes. So, and how to improve the quality of sperm. That's a topic for another day. I don't want to go beyond the awareness I created, how to have sex and have a male child. Practice sex position that allows deep penetration, which is the doggy style. It makes the penetration to be so deep that when the semen is released, it will be very close to where the egg is. And you know that Y is the fastest. That means it will get to that egg, the finish line, before the X. Yes. So thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. I'm very, very grateful. I'm so grateful. Mrs. Ojewande Deborah Adepeju, thank you for joining me, ma. I'm so grateful. You started with me, you finished with me. The Lord bless you. Miss Ebenezer Grace, thank you for joining me. I also have a lot of people here to thank. Thank you for joining me. This is all I have for us this afternoon. I don't want this show to be too long. Yes, please help like and love. Help me like and love and share. Yes, help me and press like and love and share so that other people will be able to